Hi you guys, welcome to day 2 of ab camp. As you remember from yesterday, I'm your camp counselor, Dr. Bree, and I'm really excited for today because we're going to play my favorite game. We're going to play hide and seek with those deep core muscles, especially the abdominal muscles right deep in here, the deepest, lowest band of abdominal muscles, and also your pelvic floor. So we're going to begin on our backs. The only equipment you're going to need is a block. If you do not have a block, you can also use a small cushion or pillow, or you can use a small ball, like a child's playground ball, as long as it's fairly small and not huge. So we're going to use that for one of the exercises, but you can just put it aside for now. So begin lying down on your back. We will get right to our hide and seek. So as you remember from yesterday, and I do hope that you start with day 1 and work your way all the way up through the end. So please try not to miss a day. These ab camp days do build upon one another. So we're going to begin. I'm just going to put my arms up so you can really see what's going on, but you can have your hands down. We're going to begin just by finding those muscles of the core with our pelvic tilts. We did some pelvic tilts yesterday in a seated position, and it's actually easier to do pelvic tilts lying down like I'm showing now. So this is going to be like sweet relief for you. I want you to feel that when you bring your pelvis into the anterior pelvic tilt position, so this position right here where your hip spikes are shooting forward and your low back is arching, feel that you inhale. Now as you exhale, come back into the posterior pelvic tilt position where your pubic bone is going up toward the ceiling and your front hip spikes, your anterior superior iliac spines, are actually coming back. So this is anterior pelvic tilt, inhale, and this is posterior pelvic tilt. Exhale, pull belly button to spine. So inhale, belly relaxes. Exhale, lift your pelvic floor and pull your belly button to spine. 2 more times. Inhale, belly expands. Exhale, pelvic floor lifts, belly button pulls to spine. Last time, inhale, belly expands. Exhale, pelvic floor lifts, belly button pulls to spine. And now just like we did yesterday, you can do that shh when you pull your belly button to spine and exhale. Okay, let it go. I want you to now incorporate some posterior body strengthening. So as you go into the posterior pelvic tilt, you're actually going to lift all the way up into a bridge. Take it nice and slow. Inhale down, arch, and then exhale. Posterior pelvic tilt, belly button pulls to spine, and then lift. And then inhale, come down, arch, make it very smooth and flowing. And exhale, lift your pelvic floor, pull belly button to spine, and come on up. Inhale, arch. Exhale. You can go ahead and start your inhale and then complete it as you arch. And then exhale. Belly button to spine. Press into your heels. Inhale, arch. 3 more times on your own flow. Let it release. that breathing pattern may have been a little bit different than you've learned in other exercise classes as far as when to inhale, when to exhale. But for the purposes of ab camp, I want you to go ahead and breathe the way I'm teaching you. I'm trying to teach you a new way of looking at movement and breath and really learning how to integrate your breathing with your core motions and core activation. So the next thing we're going to do is come to a neutral spine position. So you're not arched and you're not pressed down into the floor. You're neutral. So there is a tiny little centimeter of space between your low back and the floor. Maybe you can stick your fingertips under your low back. So it's not pressed down into the floor so much that your bum is lifted. And it's also not arched like this. Definitely not arched like this. So neutral spine. Lift your pelvic floor. Pull your pelvic floor muscles in and upward. Pull your belly button toward your spine. And hands are at your sides. Now I want you to lift one leg off the ground 1/4 of an inch, maybe 1/2 inch. And then set it down. And then the other side, without letting your pelvis rock side to side, lift your other leg up 1/4 of an inch, maybe 1/2 inch, and set it down. Go back and forth very slowly, lifting one leg up and setting it down, and then lifting the other leg up and setting it down. And while you're doing this, do not let your low back arch off the ground, and do not let your pelvis rock side to side. You want to feel like your body, from your pelvis up to your shoulders, to your head really, is still like a concrete block. Nothing is moving except your leg. One leg at a time, lifting just an inch or 1/2 inch even off the floor, and then very carefully setting it down. Now you may need a break because ultimately you should really be feeling this here and here. Not so much here, but here and here. Keep going if you want to stay at this level, or if you want to change things up a little bit, straighten one leg and then bring it down. Straighten the other leg and bring it down. Exhale as you do the work, which is right here. And bring it down. Now, we were playing hide and seek today. That's our goal. So hopefully you're starting to find those deep abdominal muscles and you're really starting to feel it here and here. Now, if you're feeling any strain in your low back, then it means that you either need to take a rest or you need to engage, pull in your low abs just a little bit more. If you're feeling a strain in your low back, it probably means that you're a little bit arched like this, and that's not good. You want to, again, keep that neutral position, keep the core muscles engaged and pulled in, and straighten one leg at a time, or just lift the bent leg one leg at a time. Do not let anything move. Do not let your pelvis rock side to side. Do not let your low back arch. Keep those deep abdominal muscles pulling in, and exhaling as you straighten one leg at a time. If you are more advanced and you want more, you can lift your arms behind your head, like so. That increases the work quite a bit. I want you to always remember that slow and controlled is much better than fast and sloppy. So take your time with this. The slower you go, the more you're going to feel it. So you should be feeling this all the way around in that corset of abdominal muscles. Keep breathing loud and proud. One more time on each side with either what I just was doing, the straightening of the leg, or just the picking up of one leg at a time. Keeping that neutral position. Don't let that low back arch. And release. Let it go. Shake it out. Let the legs flop apart. Maybe twist side to side. Windshield wiper your legs side to side. I like to do that. Widen your legs apart, your feet apart to the edges of the yoga mat, and then just drop one knee down and then the other. Okay, we're gonna do one more move on our back and then we're gonna stand up and be done for the day. So for this move, you're gonna need your block. Always roll onto your side and push yourself up when you're coming up to sit, especially if you have diastasis recti or the split in the abdominal wall. So put that block or small ball or cushion between your thighs. Engage your core muscles just like we were doing before. Really lift your pelvic floor, pull in your abdominals, re-engage, find that neutral spine, or err on the side of back hugging down into the floor. I really don't want your low back arching, okay? So err on the side of hugging down into the floor, but do try to maintain more of a neutral spine so it's not a full, like super full on tilt. Okay, so nice and engaged through the core, hands at your sides. Of course, if you're more advanced, you can always bring them back, but let's start at our sides. And you are going to, without letting your low back arch, you're going to lift your legs up off the floor. This is hard in itself. Okay? So now, you're going to lower the legs down to the left, and then exhale up to the middle. Lower down to the right, and exhale up to the middle. You're gonna have to use your hands a little bit to help you out. That's okay, that's not cheating. So when I lower my legs down to the left, in order to keep my right shoulder on the floor, I have to kind of press with my left arm into the floor. Press down with my left arm in order to help keep that right shoulder down on the floor. That's okay. Now, exhale up to the middle. Now down to the right, and now I'm pressing with my right arm to keep my left shoulder on the floor. Exhale, up to the middle. So try to keep your shoulders square on the floor and use your deep abs to lift the knees back up to the middle with the exhale. So lower on the inhale, lift on the exhale. Let's do 5 more times each direction. Take it really slow. Lower and lift. Don't let your low back arch. Lower and lift. 4 more times each side. Three more times each side. Make sure your knees are right above your hips and not too far forward. Make sure also that your shoulders aren't scrunching up and hunching up toward your ears, not like this. You want to keep them down and relaxed. And I think we might be done, but heck, bonus round. Let's do 1 more on each side. 1 more. Okay, and oh my gosh, amazing, good job. Hide and seek officially, I'm pretty sure you've probably found those abs. So we've really worked the deep transversus abdominis and also the obliques. Go ahead and stretch one leg out and then the other leg. And we're gonna stand up and do just one more thing in a standing position and then call it a day for day 2 of ab camp, hide and seek, which I officially think we won hide and seek, we found those abs. So roll yourself up, or you can always roll to your side and press up to a seated position. Go ahead and come up to stand. Okay, so what I want you to do is think of an energetic corset pull. Corset, core. So we're pulling that corset tight. You know how the old-fashioned corsets are? They've got the laces in the back or the front. So we're gonna pull that corset nice and tight and everything's gonna pull inward and also upward. When you're pulling on your corset, don't make it a corset that's one that makes a downward pressure happen on your pelvic floor. Feel that this kind of corset that you're pulling on is also lifting up through your pelvic floor and pulling in into your abdominal area. So an energetic corset pull. So knees are soft, feet are hip width apart, and you are going to inhale and then exhale. corset pull. Pull that corset on. So you're lifting through your pelvic floor and pulling in those deep abdominals. You can also do the shh if that helps you. Go ahead and relax. Let it go. Shake it out. Shake out your bottom. Let your pelvic floor release. Shake out your legs. And one more time, let's do the same energetic corset pull. So feet are hip width apart. Breathe into your low belly, and then energetic. Pull that corset tight. I really like to use my hands and feel that when I expand, my hands come out, and when I pull in and lift, my hands actually mirror that action of lifting and pulling inward. It helps me make that brain-body connection, which is so important for hide and seek and finding these deep core muscles. So now I'm going to turn to the side and show you the same thing and show you how we can add an element with our feet, because our whole body's connected. So I want you to see how lifting your foot can make you have even a little bit more work going on. You have to keep yourself stable through the pelvis as you lift your heel and maybe even your foot just a little bit off the ground. And one of the things that keeps you stable is these hip muscles, the standing leg hip muscles, but also the abdominal muscles help to stabilize the pelvis when you lift one leg. So that's what I want to finish up this day of ab camp with, is our energetic corset pull. You're going to hold it and then use those abdominal muscles and the standing leg muscles to keep your pelvis still, steady, and level as you lift one leg just a little bit off the ground. So inhale, relax. Exhale, energetic corset pull. Hold everything stable and strong as you lift the left heel off the ground. Breathe into your chest, not your belly this time. And as you exhale, lift that leg up just a little bit using your deep abdominal muscles and, of course, the standing leg to keep your pelvis level. Now set it down and then relax. You should feel when you do that very light and lifted through the entire body. Let's go ahead and do the other side. So shake it all out, let it all go. And we're gonna stand on our left leg this time and lift the right heel off the ground, and then the full leg. So inhale, energetic corset pull, lifted and inward pull, hold it strong and steady. Pelvis stays stable and level as we exhale and lift the heel off the ground. Now inhale to your chest. Exhale again and lift that right leg off the ground just a little bit, just an inch or two. Holding stable and strong, you should feel it here and here. This is what we want to strengthen. Those six-pack muscles are great, but what's really going to help slim, trim, tone, and keep ourselves stable and keep ourselves pain-free in our low back is to really work those deep abdominal muscles, the transversus abdominis, the obliques, and let it go. So shake it all out and let's twist it out and do a couple of hip circles. I love hip circles. Couple the other way. You should be really feeling good and really starting to fire things up in the core. You should be feeling a little something. You might even be sore in a way tomorrow that you haven't experienced before, because we're working muscles that are sometimes underutilized. So if you're a little bit sore, then if you need to, take a day off. But if you can, keep going with ab camp, because you're really gonna just be so blown away and proud of yourself by keeping up with the program and really seeing how you blossom by the end of this 18 days. So I'm really excited for you to join me tomorrow for day 3. Let's continue this journey together, and thank you so much for joining me at ab camp. We'll see you tomorrow. Until next time, remember, eat clean, move every day, and you will shine brighter.